Long ago, in an Akan village where the sun rose golden over the fields and the great baobab cast its shadow across the land, there lived a man named Kwaku Anane. Kwaku was known for his sweet tongue. His words flowed like honey, but hidden in that sweetness was poison. He had 2 wives, Adwoa the first, a strong woman with wise, patient eyes, and Abena the second, young and beautiful, her laughter like music that warmed the air. At first, peace filled the household. The 2 women lived like sisters, cooking together, working side by side, and sharing their joys and burdens. Neighbors praised Kwaku, saying he was blessed with a household where harmony reigned. But Kwaku was not satisfied. Deep within him lived fear and pride. He worried that if his wives remained united, they might turn against him, expose his laziness, and rule the house with their strength. So he decided to do what only the crooked-hearted do. He began to weave lies. One evening, he sat beside Adwoa and whispered, "Do you know what Abena said about you? She mocked you. She said you are too old and too slow, that you no longer deserve my love." Adwoa's heart ached, though she tried to brush the words aside. The next night, Kwaku went to Abena and said, "Do you know what Adwoa said? She told me you are nothing but a child, foolish and careless, unworthy of this household." Abena's face burned with anger. She smiled before him, but bitterness grew inside her. Day by day, Kwaku continued his whispers. He planted doubt in Adwoa's heart, watered anger in Abena's, and soon the peace of the house cracked. The women began to avoid each other. Their laughter vanished, replaced with silence. They cooked separately, worked separately, and when their eyes met, it was with coldness. Kwaku, watching them drift apart, smiled proudly to himself. So long as they are divided, he thought, I alone will control them. But a house divided cannot stand. Small quarrels began to break out. Adwoa scolded Abena for being lazy. Abena rolled her eyes at Adwoa's words. Pots clanged in anger. Voices rose. Villagers whispered among themselves, peeking into the compound, saying, "What has happened to Kwaku's wives?" Yet in the shadows, Kwaku stood smiling, pleased with his own trickery. One day, Adwoa complained bitterly to her cousin about Abena's insults. The cousin frowned and asked, "Sister, did you hear those words from Abena herself? Or is it only Kwaku who told you?" Adwoa paused, troubled. Meanwhile, Abena confided in her childhood friend, who asked, "Sister, are you sure Adwoa said these things? Or is it only Kwaku who told you?" That night, both women lay awake on their mats, staring into the darkness, realizing the same truth. The insults had never come from their own lips. The next morning, Adwoa decided to test it. When Kwaku whispered again that Abena had mocked her, she kept quiet. Later, she met Abena and asked directly, "Sister, tell me truly, did you say these words about me?" "Never. I thought it was you who insulted me." The 2 women stared at each other, the weight of months of bitterness crashing down. In that moment, the lies fell away, and the truth stood clear. It was Kwaku who had poisoned their peace. From that day, Adwoa and Abena pretended before Kwaku. When he whispered lies, they nodded. When he tried to stir anger, they kept silent. But at night, they planned together. They decided that his deceit must be exposed before the village, for if lies are not confronted, they grow like weeds. When the festival day arrived, the whole village gathered beneath the great baobab tree. Drummers played, dancers whirled in colorful kente, and elders sat in judgment as was tradition. To the surprise of all, Adwoa and Abena came walking hand in hand. Gasps filled the air. The women stood before the elders, and behind them came Kwaku, sweat already forming on his brow. Adwoa stepped forward and spoke, "Elders of the land, hear us. For many months we quarreled, not because of our own words, but because our husband poisoned our ears with lies. He told me Abena insulted me. He told Abena that I mocked her. And while we fought, he sat smiling." Abena nodded, her voice firm as she added, "It is Kwaku, our husband, who turned us against each other. And today we bring this truth before you." The people gasped. All eyes turned to Kwaku. The eldest elder, his staff planted firmly in the earth, said, "Kwaku Anane, a man who sows lies in his house sows fire in his own compound. Speak, are these women lying, or are you?" Kwaku stammered, his sly tongue faltering. He tried to twist his words, but the truth was clear to all. His shame could no longer be hidden. The elder raised his staff and declared, "From today, you will no longer carry words from one wife to another. You shall hear them speak before you speak yourself. If you are caught in lies again, the ancestors will curse you. Let this be a lesson to you, and to all who think deceit is strength." That night, harmony returned. Adwoa and Abena cooked together once more, laughing, pounding yams side by side as they had in the beginning. Their bond, once broken, was stronger now because it had survived fire. Kwaku sat silently on a low stool, staring into his food bowl. Regret in his heart, his pride swallowed. And so the tale of Kwaku the Divider spread through the village and beyond. Parents told it to their children around fires at night. Lies may live for a season, but truth is eternal. The tongue that divides will one day be bound by the truth.